Dah. Invested.
Dah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ayu binti Asri and my partner Alia Batrisha binti Zahra Fendi. So today we are going to present our case study for subject commercial law, which is HLB2013. Today is question. There are two types of questions, question 1 and question 2, and we do question 1, and then the answer for the question, and then the similar case that used for reference for the cases and the conclusions. So the question 1 says that Abu and Mira has been married for 3 years and living in one site. So on March 2007, Abu has been transferred to work in Sabah. So due to other commitment, Mira unable to accompany her husband to Sabah. So they had a discussion and agreed that Abu will pay 2,000 ringgit to Mira as a monthly allowance during that term, during when Abu in Sabah. So after 4 months, Abu did not make payment to Mira, and she is keen to claim for her right and want to sue him for breach of contract. So we have to advise Mira on that matter. So the answer, the question here is whether Mira has right to sue her husband Abu for breach of contract or not. So in my opinion, Mira has no right to sue her husband. So this is a domestic contract, by the way. A domestic contract is an agreement reached between two people living in family, a relationship, or which outlines their particular rights and responsibilities. And in this case, it is between husband and wife. So Mira, in my opinion, has no legal standing to sue her husband. To support my argument, so there is a presumption in domestic agreement that the party involved had no intention of being obligated by law at that time when the agreement was established. So like a mere agreement like this between two parties does not give rise to legal obligation enforceable by law. So I mean, people enter agreement every single day, like promise to meet out for coffee or go to dinner. So generally, it's not that the party intention that such agreement give rise to contractual obligation, and therefore the law will not enforce them in a court of law. So legal presumption, there are two types of legal presumption, by the way. The first made by law itself, and the second made by jury. And for a quick session here, Malaysia effectively abolished the jury system on 1st January 1995, and the biggest case that can be seen, it is in the Mona Fendi case. So I'd like to pass the presentation to Alia Batrisha.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Alia Batrisha binti Zahra Fendi, and I will continue this presentation. To support Tasnim's opinion, there are also some example about the cases about this intention to create legal relation. So the first example is the case of Balfour versus Balfour. Okay, Mr. Balfour and his wife went to England for their vacation, and then his wife became ill and she needed the medical attention. So they made an agreement that Mr. Balfour needs to remain behind in England while his husband returned to Ceylon. It is Sri Lanka. And then Mr. Balfour need to pay her €30 per month until he returned to his wife. However, the husband did not fulfill his promise. So the wife sued him for the breach of the promise. But her claim failed because they are not serious about this agreement. So there was no intention to create legal relation. There is also another case that relate to this topic. It is about Merrit versus Merrit. So Mr. and Mrs. Merrit was married in 1941. They also held their matrimonial home in joint names. But in 1966, Mr. Merrit had left his family home to live with another woman. Mr. Merrit agreed to pay Mrs. Merrit Euro 40 per month. And also Mrs. Merrit has the request. He signed a document to confirm that when she had repaid the balance of the mortgage, he would transfer the matrimonial home into her sole name. Mrs. Merrit paid the mortgage and successfully acquired a declaration that the house belonged to her. Mr. Merrit had appealed but contended because the agreement was a domestic arrangement between husband and wife, and there was no intention to create legal relation. As such, there was no enforceable contract. He also argued that the contract was insufficiently certain to be enforceable by the court, and that Mrs. Merrit had failed to provide consideration for his promise. Mrs. Merrit then argued that given they were in the process of separating, the presumption of there being no intention to create legal relations did not apply. So she claimed there was every intention of creating legal relations and her having to pay off all the expenses on the home and finishing off the mortgage payments amounted to consideration. Mr. Merritt's appeal was unsuccessful because there is intention to create legal relation between the parties because they made a written agreement. But this is a serious case, so the court ordered to the house to be fully transferred to the wife. So for as an application, since Mira and her husband Abu Abu in the domestic agreement, Mira fails to prove that they are really serious about this agreement. But unless if they take serious about this uh, agreement, and maybe they may make a written agreement, so then Mira can make an appeal to the court to sue her husband. So for in conclusion, Mira has no right to sue Abu and make any claim from her husband. So that's all from us. Thank you.
Okay.